Hey, it's John Shapiro, here we go. Knows the road rules better than most folks know. Ask your questions, bring the heat or keep it chill. He's got the answers and a license to spill. Ask a traffic cop, Sean's your guy. Breaking it down, no lie, no tie. Knows the stuff and things to keep you clear. Ask away, he's the voice you want to hear. Badge, now a podcast star, navigating traffic laws near and far. Stop sign confusions or a signal light feud. Sean's the one to give you the right attitude. Yeah, ask your traffic cop, Sean's your guy. Breaking it down, no lie, no tie. Knows the stuff and things to keep you clear. Ask away, he's the voice you want to hear. From this man. Ask a traffic cop, Sean's your guy. Breaking it down, no lie, no tie.
Oh, you're here. How you doing? I was gonna have a sip of coffee. How goes it Wednesday, 9 a.m.? It's the what is it? It's the 13th. It's a good day. I love 13. Hey, my name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a former police officer who talks about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff. And I do it for you. I want to help you by answering your traffic and police questions. So if you've got questions, I've got answers. Usually, Kurt Lowe just jumped in. Good morning, my friend. How you doing? Here's the deal. Oh, he says here, he's on the way to the auction. Right on. What is happening? I just got off the phone with Jerry Yeager. We were just recording a short little section of audio that he's going to play during the show, talking about a tragic collision. I've got that recorded. We'll air it afterwards and share his clip of it, because it's stuff we got to talk about. What happens when people do terrible things on the road? Are they being held accountable appropriately? Well, that's what he and I were talking about. I see Jacob jumped in. Liz, good morning. What do you think of 9 a.m.? It was a shot in the dark that on 9 a.m. could be better than 10 a.m. because we've been doing 10 a.m. for a long time. But you know what? Maybe 9 a.m. is better. We've got Tooth Auto. How's it going? We've got the capitalist who just jumped in here. Sarah, good morning. Good morning. Dan Werner, morning. Love the show. When can I catch it? This show, that show, the Jerry Agar show. Jerry Agar's on at 10 o'clock. Usually we go 10 o'clock because we link in with his show so often, but I've got to hit the road early tonight, so I went live at 9 o'clock instead. That's my thing. Bad Cat, how you doing? He says good morning. If you're watching on TikTok, please follow, please like, please tap the screen till your fingers go numb. Bring more people to the party. The more people to the party, the more questions and diversity we get. It's all about the questions. If we get good questions, we talk about stuff I've not talked about recently. If we just have all my fine followers who know this stuff because they're here, and through osmosis, they've absorbed all of my, info. Well, then we'll just talk about movies and 3D prints and what you're doing to prepare for Halloween decorations. Is it time for Halloween decorations? That's the real question. Firefly, hello. User 102258. How you doing? Randy McNaught. What did I say? Okay, Liz is coming through on X. And if you're coming through on YouTube, X, or even LinkedIn, I could generally put your stuff on screen. If you're coming through on Instagram or TikTok, I can't put it on screen, but I will read your stuff and I will engage with your questions. Randy says, good morning, Sean. What are the requisites for electric scooter limits? I see more and more scooters that can keep up with cars on residential and busier roadways. Thanks, brother. So here's the deal, and I love talking about this. In fact, the war on the electric vehicle. So there was the war on electric cars, which are actually cars, because no one's trying to pretend they're not cars. They have licenses, they have registrations, they need safety requirements. They do catch on fire on occasion, but they are safe and regulated. And then you have stuff that has a electric and a manual version. We'll talk about bicycles, e-bikes. Okay, e-bikes are bicycles with engines on, well, motors on them. Are they motorcycles? Yes. Do they have special magical powers under the legislation? Yes. If you put a gas-powered engine on it, is it a motorcycle? Yes. Does it have special magical powers that give it the ability to run without licenses? No. So why we allow, and I guess it's the green effort, why we allow people to have motorcycles that don't meet safety requirements be on the road is it just boggles the mind. However, the law says that if a bicycle, an e-bike, well, to qualify as an e-bike, it has to have a maximum speed of 32 kilometers an hour, unassisted by human intervention, meaning no pedals. You can pedal faster, but you can't go by throttle alone faster than 32. 500-watt motor, and have to have pedals capable of driving it. 120 kilo max weight as well, and you have to wear a helmet. Okay, I know you asked about scooters, but that's starting with the e-bikes. Scooters, well, there's a provincial pilot that allows jurisdictions that want them, that say, yes, I want them here, Toronto not being one of them, well, they can have a maximum speed. There is no assist function, I guess, kicking it, but maximum speed of 24 kilometers an hour, a 500-watt motor, and no seats, no cargo. Oddly enough, I see them with seats all over the place. And the riders have to be 16 and wear helmets. So if you look at Toronto, any scooter you see on the road, on the sidewalk, on other than private property is illegal. But the police aren't enforcing it because they don't have enough people to go and deal with the 9 gazillion scooter riders that are there. Now, if it causes a collision, if they're involved in a collision, they should also be charged for riding an unsafe and illegal vehicle in the city. That should just happen. It should be an add-on charge. Will cops necessarily lay the charge because they feel bad that the guy's got a broken leg already? That's up to the cop and his level of guilt. But I would add the charge because the driver who's going to get screwed paying for that person is paying for someone who should never have been there because they're riding an illegal vehicle on the road that you're not permitted to be on. That's my take on it. Then there's the other electric vehicles, those EUCs, electric unicycles. They're prohibited everywhere. They're not allowed on any road in the province of Ontario. There is no pilot. They are absolutely unsafe and illegal motor vehicles riding on the road without insurance. So anyone riding an e-bike that doesn't qualify as an e-bike because it goes faster, like the Surons that do 60, 70 kilometers an hour without question. Anyone who's on an e-kick scooter that goes more than 24 kilometers an hour is on a motorcycle or a motor vehicle that's uninsured and unsafe. They should be charged to the highest level the law allows. Why? Because not only are they impacting traffic and the people who are activists for those say they're not. Well, they are. There are more people on the road. Get on a bus if you want to reduce traffic. Don't add people running all over the place on the sidewalks, bowling over kids and parents. And then hold on, that's not even talking about the craze of the little electric car that's not a car because it's a mobility scooter. Why? Because I said so. Because that's effectively what's happening here. They import some Chinese crap, and not all crap, not all stuff from China is crap. But this is stuff that is being created, built, and imported from another country that does not meet any safety standards here. They're claiming it's a mobility scooter, but they have 4-seater air-conditioned mobility scooters now. They claim they're mobility scooters, but I have yet to see anybody inside of a Walmart shopping for their groceries using one. You know why? Because it don't fit through the door. There has to be very tight regulations onto what qualifies as a mobility scooter. But unfortunately, no one thought anyone would create a world where we would just claim to be something and then we'd acknowledge it as that because we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Yeah, I'm not going to that topic. I'm talking about mobility scooters. If you can't use it to get through the aisle at the Walmart, it ain't a mobility scooter. I'm sorry. I like using ain't. It makes me laugh. All right. Kayla Draconis has jumped in. We've got Liz who says, I was surprised to see you at 9 a.m. Guess I'll be listening while ironing. Well, ironing is good. I need a new ironing board. I bought an ironing board, or so I thought, and then I opened the box that arrived, and it was the cover for an ironing board. See, I bought my favorite ironing board once upon a time, and I bought it at Costco, and Costco gets stuff, and then they don't get stuff, and it broke eventually after many years of misuse, and I can't replace it, and it's an oversized ironing board for an oversized guy with oversized clothes. And these mini me ironing boards just don't cut it anyway. Julie, good morning to you. Long time no see. Glad to see you. Hope you're well. Akela says greetings and salutations. He says, "Oh, he's getting ready to catch the train downtown to go to the hospital." Okay, have a safe trip, my brother. Let's see here. Randy says, scooters retailers should be providing the rules to the potential owners to ensure that the correct info is shared. I agree with you. However, they are busy selling them that it's legal and no insurance is required and it's safe and it's green because you know why? They want the money. And there's no consequences for them at the moment. Well, that should change. They should be absolutely liable. They're the ones putting them on the road. I mean, yeah, they're selling people stuff that for private property are perfectly legitimate. But you know what's really funny is that the sellers of these items block me so I can't see their bull crap online so that I can't stitch their stuff and tell the world the truth. They actively block my accounts. They did it when I was with the police. They do it with me now. But they don't realize that people still send me the links and I can still download their stuff and still share their stuff, which I really need to do more of. Paul says hello. And Julie says, I've been listening in the background. Right on, Julie. Okay, we got back to the TikTok window, and I see a whole bunch of stuff popped in on Instagram. We'll go check that in a second. Master Falls 324 says, is it true if a bicycle hits your vehicle, the insured person of the car is responsible for the biker? They may not be responsible legally for the causing the collision, but their insurance is going to pay for it because most of those people are not going to be insured themselves. Now, if they have their own insurance because they own a car as well, then it's possible that their insurance would cover their injuries, possibly, maybe. If they have home insurance, some things could be covered, but the car is going to pay. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I love this mug. This is a Toronto Police mug, which is transparent apparently because it's got the green colors, but on the other side, it says Toronto Police, and it's available at the gift shop, the 808. I think they still have it. I hope they still have it. It's a great mug. I love big mugs, and I cannot lie. Okay, we got Camera Time 2025 says, talk about parking on paved boulevard between sidewalk and street, entrance to homeowner driveway. What would you like me to talk about parking on paved boulevard? Boulevard parking is, unless you're zoned for it, isn't legal. It has to be a recognized spot, and just parking there isn't actually legal. But according to my friend Aaron Urquhart, if you it's city property, right? So if you're on the boulevard, and that's generally the space between the road and the sidewalk, that's the city road, city space. That's not actually, it's not actually your property. So if you park there, you can get a ticket. Now, they don't generally ticket anybody there unless someone's complaining. So if someone's complaining, if you're getting a ticket, someone's complaining, it's probably your neighbor who hates you. Just saying, be nice to your neighbors. Listen, I think if you can fit the car there, why is it a problem? But I don't make those rules. Let's see here. If you're watching, please like and follow and subscribe and share, because we're on a multitude of platforms. We're currently broadcasting on X, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Instagram. And if you're not already following me on all of those channels, please go ahead and do that, especially on the YouTube. We're trying to get over 1,000. I think I'm like 850 followers, but we want to get to 1,000. It's a thing because once we get 1,000, we get perks like customer service. We can call people for help. Right now, we can't, and we'd like help. Everyone needs a little help sometimes. Hillary is a secret keeper. They thought something was funny, but I don't know what I said specifically to make them send those emojis. It's a TikTok dad, LOL. Oh, it's the TikTok dad. SH18. How's it going? Emj, thanks for following. And thanks, Hillary, for the hashtag. Ange wants to know how retirement is. I'm not retired in the classical sense. I'm not watching grass grow. I'm running around like a chicken with his head cut off. I'm trying to do everything. I'm in the process of I'm working with 2 different companies that are launching. It is a nonstop hustle of trying to get stuff done. Oh, Hillary liked that I said I like big mugs and I can't lie. Tooth Auto Sports says we've got that iconic voice resonating through the race shop. Right on, brother. Tooth Auto Sport. If you're near Calabogie, if you're in the Ottawa area and you want to learn how to race, that's the place you go. Like amazing. I've sat in a race car, but I've not been on the track in a race car. Although I might fit in there with you next time I'm down there because I'm less big. I've lost a ton of weight since over the last year. So Maybe I got to make a trip to Ottawa and come visit you guys. But it was good seeing you at the Honda Indy. And the kids love the poster. Thank you. Dan Werner says, I drive truck for a living. Do the police stop people towing an RV improperly? I see so many vehicles towing a trailer that is way too heavy for it. And the answer is, if the cop knows what they're looking for, then yes. Not every police officer is traffic inclined or trained and may not notice it. But most, especially in the rural areas, OPP guys, they probably tow their own trailers. They know exactly what's up. And when they see something wrong, I bet you they're pulling him over. Can I attest to it? No. But I believe that cops, when they see something, they say something, they do something, they charge people. I have seen things where, you can't believe the things I've seen. I was driving to work one day and I saw a trailer overloaded with sod, and they had loaded it so much that the tongue bent, like just bent. The trailer was on the ground. The tongue was still attached, but I'm trying to describe the triangle in front of the square box of the trailer had just snapped, and the things you see and the dangers that can result of from improper towing are crazy. They've also got the MTO who are out doing their magic to keep the road safer. But yeah, police will absolutely do it. And I can tell you, I've pulled over a gazillion trailers, and I'm not a CVSA guy, but I know I'm one that I can call whenever I was working, and they'd come and they'd charge. But insecure load all the time. Like, we're looking for everything that's dangerous. Dan Werner says, I believe that you should be trained to tow anything as the RV trailers are getting heavier and longer. And RV trailers, not TV trailer. Yes, thank you. Like, autocorrect is so much fun. You know what? And here's an interesting thing. I agree with you. You should probably have a license to tow a trailer. It's not required currently, unless it has air brakes. You don't need a certification or any kind of special privileges. However, with the Toronto Police, as a member of the Toronto Police, if you want to drive a car, it's great that you have a license. You need a blue card. You need to be qualified to drive. You have to have our Toronto Police license. If you want to tow a trailer, guess what? Oh, and thanks for the solo subscribe to YouTube. Thanks very much for the subscription, the follow. You got to take a course to tow a trailer, and they teach you how to back up and do all the things you need to do. That's great. Why don't we do that for everybody? Oh, because it would be inconvenient and difficult and cost money, and it would just be stuff and things you have to add to your life. But would it make life better and safer? Yeah, but it's work, so we don't do it. We do a lot of things or don't do a lot of things because it would take work and cause infrastructure and add jobs, and someone would have to scratch more carbon onto paper because I don't know. Listen, if I want to drive the RV at work, if I wanted to be someone who drove the chip truck, the motorhome that is the special events vehicle, and it's also called a mobile base, I guess. You need a special training with it. Someone who's qualified to do it, who has the train the trainer status, can train you. They also teach you how to empty the toilet, which we hope no one ever uses because that's gross. In any case, I agree with you. We should have special training available. Paul says hello. I think I acknowledged you earlier, but Paul. Jacob wants to know, is the Toronto Police Traffic Service stock patrol boot manufacturer by Denier Boot Company? No. The way it works now, first of all, I don't know who they changed the system. It used to be that everyone got the same stuff, and now you can buy anything that's black and should be able to hold polish, but I don't know if it's enforced from an approved vendor. There's people wearing all sorts of different shoes. And Solo says, "Good morning, Sean." Good morning, Solo. And again, thanks for the follow. Let's see here. We got What's Your Face followed. Thank you very much. Let me know when you come to Ottawa. We can meet up. Yes, Tracy, absolutely. And then we can all go racing. There we go. Head over to the Calabogie. Thanks for continuing your mission of education with facts and fighting against assumed laws. That's from Camera Time. My pleasure. Brando6868 wants to know if Underglow is legal. And Underglow is not illegal. However, the use of Underglow may violate other laws. What do I mean by that? Well, if you are using Underglow and it's projecting, the lights are installed in such a way that the bulbs are visible and you're actually projecting light outward in directions where it's not permitted, like red light to the front, for instance, that's illegal. But one, it's not illegal to install. It's only illegal in certain circumstances, right? Like if the red light's facing forward, that would be improper headlights because you can't, or red light to the front. Like there are different options. And if you're running lights other than red or amber to the rear, that would be illegal. The only white light permitted on the rear of your vehicle is the 3 candela license plate illuminator. But besides that, you can't have it. And then if you, but so my solution is you tuck the bulbs way high, and then the only thing seen is the reflection off the road, which isn't illegal, despite my arguments with a certain sergeant whom I love, my brother from another mother. But he says if I see the light, it's projecting at me, and I'm like, no, it's reflecting at you, and we hinge on, or we disagree on the definition of projection light. Anyway, Badcat43 says video out there shows OPP towing a trailer with tongue dragging on the ground, just hanging on chains. Yes. Now we don't know if it was because the person didn't affix the ball properly or if the ball failed, but they did have their secondary means of attachment. It's an embarrassing video. I saw it. And I'm sure they are being ridiculed to this day because that's the kind of thing nicknames are generated from. Like I'd call that copper chains or, drag or oops, so I'm sure, but would it result in charges? Well, it depends. Was it fault or was it failure? And either way, I'm sure it's being dealt with internally, and it might just be harassment, but I'm not sure. Camera Time says, are police and donuts more stereotype or really as it once was, or reality as it once was? I would imagine it once was reality. We know we're now a more health conscious people in general, but let's talk about where the association of coffee and donuts and cops comes. Coffee shop owners that were open late were getting robbed, or so the story goes, and they offered police a place to hang out and have free coffee. And you know what happened when the police hung out? They didn't get robbed. So what were they being offered to stay there? Coffee and donuts. And then it became a thing to make fun of police. Now, I got to tell you, I prefer chicken wings over donuts any day. And now that I don't do carbs anymore, absolutely chicken wings over donuts. And of the donuts that I do like but will not eat are those raspberry filled from Krispy Kreme. Those are still my favorite. I can taste it. I can think about it and taste it. I don't have to eat it. Camera Time goes on to say, which was the bigger highlight for you, becoming a police officer or retiring from police services? Highlight? Being a police officer, becoming a police officer. Retiring wasn't a glowing, wonderful thing. I miss the police every day. I miss being a cop. I miss my colleagues. I'm very fortunate that I'm still tight with my friends at the job, and I still talk to them on a regular basis. We meet up, but it's weird being civilian. So retirement, first of all, wasn't the regular kind of retirement. I left really, really early because of family reasons, and I don't feel complete there, but I have bigger fish to fry. I've got things that I need to do, and that's why I left. Let's see here. We got Solo who asks, if an emergency vehicle is flashing lights and sirens, I press that one more time so it actually shows up. Do you slow down or completely stop? So you need to immediately, upon seeing and hearing those, safely move to the nearest curb or edge of roadway, preferably the right, and come to a complete stop. Now, if they pass you and you've yet to safely stop, well, then you don't need to continue that stop because the need is gone. They've passed you, and then you can regain and your flow and get back into traffic. But yeah, you do have to get to pull over if it's a divided highway. Or you pull over if they're behind you. If it's an undivided highway, everybody pulls over because they might be going into oncoming traffic. Jacob says he'd go with knee-high leather patrol boots like the ones I used to have. Those were badass. Yeah, you know what? Those were motor boots. They were the standard dress of the motor squad. It was a custom made nearly knee-high boot, and they were great. We wore them with breeks, and it looked really sharp. But that's not what they wear anymore. It's no longer part of the regular dress. Okay. Master Falls says, I seen a trailer BC I seen a trailer BC the RCMP were towing the trailer and the tire blows out and starts a wildfire. You've seen a RCMP vehicle tow a trailer and start a wildfire? Interesting. That's something I hope you have dash camera. That would be great. The Real Walker Texas Ranger says, hey, Sean, how hard do you think it is to get into the force? Seems like there's a shortage of officers, but it seems hard to get into. I don't think it's hard to get in. I think if you qualify, you qualify. If you don't, you don't. If you're an honest, good person, then you have nothing to worry about. And they are actively looking for applicants. They're looking for people who want to serve. And it is a life of service, despite many people thinking it's just a great job. There's more to it. There really is. It's not. It's missing nights and weekends. It's a whole lot of stuff, and it's not as simple as uh, just showing up. Okay, let's go look at the job board. Boom, boom, boom. And I want to share a video with you in a moment. Okay, so here's the Toronto Police careers page. If you're interested in going there, seeing it, you can go to www.tps.ca/careers, and on it you will find all sorts of magical stuff. You can get all the information about becoming a police constable. Yeah, there's a buddy from my class. And then if you go and scroll through things you should know, things that you need, what kind of shift you're going to look at, and explaining that you're going to work a lot and you're going to work on times when your kids are at school or when your kids are at home, and you're going to miss birthdays and parties and other stuff. Now you can also submit your application. It's not one of those one and done things, but police constable at the moment is an open all the time thing. You can always apply for it. Special constables, you got to wait until there's a posting. Parking enforcement, you have to wait until there's a posting, but there's more information here. Communications operators, they've been hiring a lot of them because it's a tough job and not everybody makes it through. If you're a current serving police officer elsewhere, you can get a lateral hire. They have a page for auxiliary officer. That's how I actually started with the service, and that is a volunteer position. And it's a great opportunity. If you're looking for a great way to volunteer in your community, check out an auxiliary program, whether it's Toronto or a police service local to you. Definitely go check it out. Now, let's hit civilian roles, because that's my favorite button to press. See what's going on. Oh, there's fewer jobs available than before. These things come and go. You got to be paying attention. Check every day, and new stuff comes up, and it might be the job of your dreams. So go and check it out. This one's communications operator. If you click on it, you're going to get all the information about that job, what the pay is, what the detail, like what the job is, and what all the requirements are. And the most important thing, if you're actually considering it, is pay attention to the closing date. This one closes December 31st, 2025. If you don't apply before that date and the job is taken down, well, you don't get to apply anymore. So don't sit on your hands. If you want the job, go apply for it. Boom. If it's not available now, go prepare your resume and get in shape and get ready for it, and just do it. So there's a communications operator job, workplace investigator in the respectful workplace department. I don't know what that is. Project leader in the digital team. Those are the three positions. Again, if you're interested, go and apply, because if you're waiting, you're just messing with your opportunities. And if I didn't already mention it, you can go to Ask a Traffic Cop's webpage, askatrafficcop.ca. And if you go there, well, I can do, why don't I just show you? Ask a Traffic Cop. Here we go. I'll show you the website, because I like the website. I'm pretty proud of the website. So if you go to askatrafficcop.ca, you can look at the current shows. You can get some stuff and things. You can look at our valuable sponsors, like Diamond and Diamond Lawyers and Barrett Tax Law. These are magical people that help fund what I'm doing here. See, this is all done through Better Traffic Safety and Education, a not-for-profit organization that I created when I left the police a year ago. And the goal is to make traffic safer everywhere through education, by answering traffic and police questions so you understand what's up. And sometimes people ask me about products, like safety products, like things they can buy that would make their lives better, like dash cameras, which I think everybody should have. If you buy one using the link, you help support us by getting us a small commission. If you want a window breaker, buy one through the link, and you can make a small commission for us, which helps fund the show. And I got all sorts of stuff here listed that I think are useful things to help you either reduce or dissuade bad guys from stealing your car. I can't prevent theft, but I can certainly, we can't, you and I can't prevent theft, but we can certainly make it more difficult to steal and less attractive to steal. And if you got kids and you want a good car seat, I got some listed there too. Anyway, enough about that. Real Walker, Texas Ranger says, I'm in a small town in Sarnia and have been considering applying for a bed. We see communication about needing officers, but no postings. So I've been waiting and trying to research as much as I can. I can tell you that smaller services hire fewer people, and very often they're looking for experienced officers because they want the benefit of having someone who worked in Toronto. A friend of mine left Toronto to work for Sarnia and has then gone on to the OPP. People move around all the time in this career. So you could go to Toronto, get some amazing experience. Maybe just decide you want to be there for the rest of your career because there's such great opportunities. Or you might say you want to come back to Sarnia afterwards, and they'll probably hire you. It's a thing. James or Candace followed the host. That's very nice of you. Thank you for following. If you're watching and you don't know who I am, my name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a former police officer who talks about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff. And I'm here to answer your questions. So if you'd be so kind, follow, like, share, and ask questions, because that's how this gets better. The more questions, the more fun we have. And I got a video to show you in just 1 second. Oh, I like the coffee. All right, let me prep this. Give me 1 second. The video that's playing needs to be replaced. That's not the video I want to play. What is this video? Oh, this is the U-turn video I filmed on my dash cam a little while ago. And check this out. Did I miss it already? Did it happen? Isn't that what this is? That's terrible. Oh yeah, it was the YouTube. This is the U-turn guy. What a jackass. Okay, let's change this video. Replace the video, the one that I uploaded yesterday. All right, check this out. There's gonna be some music. I think it's fun music. If it's too loud, I'm gonna try and make it quieter.
Lights, cam, dash cam, roll the tape and catch the jam. One of these folks forgot the rules, or maybe more playing traffic fools. Could be a left when they should have gone right.
So the guy that just went
stop that
through
flew out of
and
sight.
left,
Keep your eyes peeled, it's going down. Someone's acting like a circus clown.
Check it out.
Say what you see.
Because it shocked the hell out of me.
Slide. Drop a comment, take a side. Was it one or was it three?
Here it comes.
The law on your TV.
Right side of the screen. Come on. 3 seconds now.
It's your call.
Wow,
Tell us
what
what
kind of
you
green light
think you
is
saw. Who just broke the traffic
holy.
law? You're the judge,
Okay,
the
again,
screen's
I
your
go through the
call.
red light.
Call them out,
Same
give us your
intersection,
report.
same
Say what you
cycle.
see, be brave, be bold.
How
This
screwed
dash
up
cam
is it?
clip is about to unfold.
And then this jackass. Like, wow. Wow. I could not believe what I saw. And I couldn't believe I'm like, when I get great dash cam video, I'm like, thank you. I'm getting good. I love it because I get to share it with you guys. It's one of those things I can't get over what people do on the road these days. And I'm sure that guy just needed to get somewhere. Yeah, he was late. He was determined to make that light, and he didn't come close. Like, it was a solid green for us. And he's just shooting. We're lucky no one died there. It could have been tragic, truly. Sergeant Frank says, good morning, Sean. Good morning, Sarge. How's it going? What is this? He says, please clear this for the crowd. If an emergency vehicle comes up behind you and you're on a red light, can you go through the red light once it's safe to do so to let the safety vehicle through? A lot of people get this wrong, and they think that they have some magical authority to go through a light because there's an ambulance, fire truck, or whatever behind you. You have no authority and you are not protected. If you enter that intersection on a red, even to be nice, and you cause a collision, you're on the hook for it. So you can't do that. If you can legally and safely make a right turn on red, which you're in the lane, you're in the right turn lane, and get out of there, great. But really, that emergency vehicle should be making plans in advance. And if they are coming up to a red light, they're going to go into oncoming traffic. They're going to go onto the other lanes to get through the very clear intersection. And because they're going to make it clear, right? Oncoming traffic, everyone pulls over. That's the way to do it. Don't go through a red light. Don't get out of their way. They shouldn't be honking at you. They shouldn't be pushing. Someone last night said they were pushed through an intersection by an ambulance. I'm like, pushed physically? They never elaborated, but yeah, not okay. Brandon says, good morning, Sean and all. Sorry, I'm late on Florida time. Boy, it must be tough. Driving your new wheels. Are the new wheels coming home? Is that our ones coming to Toronto? Is that what's happening? I want to see this car. Okay. You're very welcome, Real Walker, Texas Ranger. All right, let's see here. You're right. Jinwoo says he ain't reading it here. I was looking at the other screens, but now I'm back on the TikTok. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Camera Time 2025 says, sell people on becoming a police officer. Why should someone consider the field? If you need to be sold on becoming a police officer, don't become a police officer. Police officer is a role for someone who wants to serve. It's in them already. They want to help people. It's not that they have a hero complex. It's that they have a helping complex. It is about solving other people's problems, about being a parent to everybody. That's not the sexy way to describe policing, but you're showing up and you're dealing with two people who have lost control of their emotions and are potentially yelling, screaming, whatever, whether it's two people fighting over a parking spot or a husband and wife or a couple or, whatever the case is. When people can't manage their own stuff, police get involved. That's not for everybody. Some people don't like conflict, and you're constantly dealing with conflict as a police officer. I think telling people that this isn't a job for everybody is the right way to sell the job. It has to be for someone who wants to give up nights and weekends and special events and sleep and having a stress for your life because it's a different kind of stress. And potentially getting hurt and actually probably having multiple injuries throughout their career, all because it's rewarding and you're probably going to love it. If you think you're going to love it, you're probably going to love it. And be an auxiliary taste test. Go try it before you buy it. It's a big commitment to become a police officer. Now, right now, it's less of a commitment than it was when I joined. When I joined, I had to pay to go to college. Now it's covered by the provincial government. So it's like a signing bonus. My God, going back now, I could do that whole ride again. That would be fun. Well, I wouldn't want to leave my wife and kids to go to the police college again. That was the toughest part about it. It's a big commitment, and you have to work. And you're gonna laugh and you're gonna cry and you're gonna sweat and you're gonna puke. Boy, that sounds like advertising. Silver X wants to know what my opinion on cars with sound systems playing music loud while driving. Well, it's unnecessary noise, $110 ticket. I think it's ridiculous. If you want your music loud, wear headphones. Play the music with the windows up. But don't filter or litter the noise of your tunes to everybody else on the street because they should be able to listen to their tunes, not yours. Like maybe they like rock or rap, and you like Harry Belafonte or what's that? That's not the name I was actually thinking of. But it came. What's the other guy? The other guy. Okay, I don't know what the other guy's name is. Can't think of it. But at the Copacabana. What the hell is his name? Why is his name escaping me? That's his name. Shoot. Anyway, what can I say? I can't remember his name. It's the guy you make fun of whenever. Anyway, he's actually got a nice. I don't want to listen to some music. It's not my style. That's his name. Barry Manilow. Thank you, Hillary. Barry Manilow. At the Copa. Now it's gonna be stuck in my head all day, and in yours too. Hopefully, I don't want to go through this alone. Okay, what time is it? 37 minutes. We got a few more. Anybody who got dad jokes? We got dad jokes. Throw them in the mix so I can read them at the end of the show. Liz says, agreed with the coffee shops and donuts. Dad would want a cup of tea and walk away with a free box of donuts. Also, back in the day, he said only donut shops were open in the middle of the night. Absolutely, they needed that attention. Now you can't even accept a free coffee by rules and regs, and because someone will say you're being you're what is it? It's you're getting inducement to serve and spend time there. Yeah, that's pretty much what's happening. Free coffee gets them to come by. And then now the problem is you show up at a coffee shop and they want to give you coffee. They want to give you something, say thank you for your service. You have to say, no, thank you. I pay. And that's exactly what I do. Or I did. And now nobody wants to give me anything. That's not true. Somebody gave me some really cool stuff. Excuse me while I drink coffee. Okay. But what do we have here? What's your opinion? We talked about that. Can you join the police record with demerit points on your license? Ethan and Rack. Rachel? Or just Rack? Rach. It's right. Ethan and Rach. Can you join the police with the demerit points on your license? Yes, but no more than 6 demerit points is what's listed on the website. And here's the deal. If you had a collision and you got charged with careless, it happens. You go to court, deal with it. 3 years later, it's off your record. If you have a systematic or historical history, if you have a history of terrible driving, that is not good for someone who's going to then be required to to enforce the laws if you can't follow them yourself. It all depends. Everything, if it's dated, if it's old, even criminal records. If you have something from your childhood, 20 years later, you're a new person. You get it taken off your record. Are you still going to be judged based on what you did when you were 15 or whatever? No, you can still be a cop if things happen in your history, but you are a different person now. All right. Camera Time says, how often does someone approach you and say, hey, you are on TikTok, right? Awesome. Love your stuff. Yeah, it happens all the time. It's actually wonderful. And my kids like, oh, or they smile and go, another person recognized you. It's neat, you know what? And it's all been positive. I've yet to have a negative, face-to-face based on stuff. Usually, what I'm really shocked about is that most people don't recognize me because they're looking at me. They recognize me because they hear me. It's my voice that they recognize. And I think it's because most people are used to seeing this and don't see the 6'5" frame that comes with it. And they don't put the 2 and 2 together until they hear me speak. It's really funny. Trevor Foster wants to know about how he would go about applying for a court officer position. Well, if you're talking about court officer with the Toronto Police Service, that position isn't a position anymore. It's now called special constable. When I joined as a paid member in 2000, it was called court officer. You were a special constable, but the position wasn't special constable. Now, special constables have been redefined in the services. They do far more, and courts is just one of the roles. So how do you apply? When there's a posting available, you apply. And you do that by going to www. If you're talking about Toronto, you go to www.tps.ca/careers, and you can apply online. In fact, you can go online, create a profile for yourself, and start building your online asset of your application in advance of even the posting being there. And then when you're ready to go, press the button and you're good. What do we have? I got 4 demerit points last month in Calgary. Any of that had to remove them. So he got a conviction with 4 demerit points. You got a ticket that has the consequence of 4 demerit points. And what is the story? I need to know more. If you were convicted and the points have been applied to your license, then it takes 3 years. They're gone in 3 years. You don't get them removed. They automatically get removed in 3 years. However, if you've just been charged, you don't have the points until you're convicted. And the points, I said 3 years. No, it's 2 years. Points come off in 2 years, and convictions come off in 3 years. At least in Ontario, I imagine it's the same in Calgary. Oh, sorry. When I played the video, the music was too loud, and Barry says he couldn't hear what I was saying. Okay. What, Barry, how did you achieve that? What are we talking about? Okay. Outside the Box says, good morning. See that every day. I'm assuming we're talking about the thing here. I'll put that back in the background. Wrong button. Here we go. I'll just turn the sound off so you can see that.
Lights, cam, dash cam, roll the tape.
I'll just mute it. But that's the here. I'll let it run a loop for a bit. You can just, I'm in awe of it. I just can't get over how these people haven't done something amazingly terrible. Amazingly terrible. Terrible and amazing. Where can I do this? Boom. Customize. Whoop. Just put me there. Here we go. Okay. Will the contests, the Great Canadian Driving Games, be desktop ready at some point? Desktop ready? Like the driving games are just really a tracker for your device. Now, I've been able to go to a website and see stuff. Actually, I've got to reinstall it on my phone. I upgraded, it upgraded. I got logged out. I got frustrated. I got to get back into it. If you want to enter, it runs until September 14th, I believe. And you can install the app and still get chances to win stuff. It's all about a study for the Traffic Injury Research Foundation, and it's a great app that runs on your phone and works until it pisses me off, and then I took it off because it was having problems, and I got to put it back on. Okay, what do we got here? Tracy says we just got much needed rain. It was glorious. Was that last night or was that this morning? You got the glorious rain because last night where I is in Toronto in the afternoon it was torrential rain. That lasted for about 45 minutes, but it was, wow. Oh, half-inch overnight. So needed it. That was Melody. Okay, cool. Camera time 2025. Most notable difference between Canadian police and other nations, USA, UK, Japan, etc. I've heard, but not had direct connection to Japanese police, but apparently they're very, very organized and they work in unison to do a lot of different things when it comes to traffic safety. I one of the things I want to do is I want to pitch a TV show where I travel around and explore these things, really making these particular observations. It's something I've been working on. The UK police, I've spoken to a lot of the UK police. I can't get over how many UK police aren't armed. They have armed units, but the vast majority of them seem to be like special constables out doing stuff. It's wild, totally different. But I don't, other than shooting the poop with them when I travel. I don't really have any insight as to how they function. USA, man, they're all Marines. I love the American police. They are not messing around. But what can I say? Notable differences. They're tactical, man. Here, they train and they train hard. They have a tactical background. We have elements of that here, but the vast majority of officers in Canada, I think, are speakers first and hands-on second. I think American police, as they're driving up, they take someone out. It's just I'm exaggerating. I'm having fun with this answer. I really enjoy watching their videos, their body cam videos to see how they engage. It's very different, but everything is different there. People don't realize how different our cultures are. Let's see here. We got boo boo boo. What do you? Okay, I'm putting Melody's dad joke up for later. Okay. I think I've looped this video plenty. Put it back here. Oh. The ZR1 is not coming to back to Canada. It's a Florida car. So the Z06 and the Mustang will be coming back. Right on. Brandon, we got to connect. I got to talk. We got to talk. Okay. Oh, Aragon says, we recently had our front license plate stolen. What is your take on this crime? We installed security screws to protect the new plates we had to buy. So people do steal these plates and they put them on the back of a vehicle that is the same color and so on. I'd make sure that your old plates are reported stolen and then returned to the ministry. You don't want them because if they're associated with you, you could be getting 407 bills. Yes, people do the darndest things. And because no stickers are required anymore, a front plate and a back plate look the same. And they steal them to put on stolen cars and drive on the 407, amongst other things. But yeah, report it stolen and then make sure it's removed from your account. You want to make sure it's reported and take the report from the stolen plate and give it to the ministry. Otherwise, you're going to have a headache. Yeah, don't mess with that. Mary Lynn says, try taking the citizens course offered by the OPP, which gives you insight into the profession. It's a great piece of advice. And Mary Lynn, I think you sent me voicemail yesterday. And I didn't get a chance to do review of the voicemails that were sent to the site because I didn't stop for 5 minutes yesterday. But I will get to it. I will answer and I will respond or use it in the show if it's meant to be used for the show. Liz says, Barry Manilow, thank you very much. Appreciate it. The Barry Manilow response. I'm surprised how many people know Barry Manilow. Are all school zones 30 kilometers an hour now? No. Some are, not all. Some are 40. The big thing is they do have the ability of having the camera do the enforcement, which I totally appreciate. I love automated enforcement. I don't love the idea of getting a ticket. I love that people who break the law will get a ticket. Bone Freak, what's going on? Have you made it to Radio World yet? That's the question. Bone Freak says, hey, trailer question. Do you have to keep the ownership plate docs with you like a car? Yes. You need the registration for your plate, for your trailer. It's the registration for the vehicle, just the same. Oh, what is this? Sheezes says, don't appreciate being ticketed on the 401 going same speed as everyone else. How is that fair? Stop all of us or not just one? No, it's not that you get away with breaking the law. It's that there's risk of being pulled over. First of all, I think we should have automated enforcement on the 401. If you break the law there, you should get a ticket too, just like Europe. It's fair if you get caught because you shouldn't be speeding, and fair is out the window. There's no fair. If you break the law, there's no fair. You're eligible for a ticket, whether it's one or all. What a interesting take you have. Let's see here. Somebody says, we'll get to the squid in a second. Melody says, think the kids are okay with meetups when they get, I don't understand what that is. I'm not picking up what you're putting down when you're talking about Starbucks. So the unnamed user who says, can I go 200 miles per hour on my Air One? I love these idiotic statements to try and look tough or special. No, obviously, I mean, I'm sure you can. You're an idiot if you do. If you're not, do it on a racetrack. But doing 200 miles per hour, you can do the math. and you do that on a road, you deserve to be jailed. I don't think you should have court tickets. You should jail, straight to jail. I honestly believe that, and maybe a couple of bumps on the way. You're an idiot if you do that, and you're putting lives at risk. So I have no sympathy for you. Whatever you get, you deserve. Phone Freak hasn't made it to Radio World. I got to schedule that contact. Okay, Energizer Bunny. Oh, okay. Wait. I got to. That's from Camera Time. Copy and paste. I will copy and paste. Stand by. All right, flag that one. Where's the other one? Here we go. The strawberry. Marilyn says, thank you. Have a great day. Sergeant Frank says, it was a pleasure to speak with you again. I may miss next week due to a major surgery. I'll join you as soon as I can. Well, you be well, brother. I hope your surgery goes well and you recover quickly. Okay. Oh, how does Liz know Barry Manilow? Because her middle name is Lola. Yes, I can imagine how that was a prerequisite for you as a kid. All right. Oh. Greg says, hi, Sean. What are your thoughts on the danger of HOV lanes? Always collisions as per 680 News. Yeah, because people are treating the HOV lane like a racing fast lane. It's not. And I say this ad nauseum. I really do. It is such a misused lane. First of all, if you misuse it, you should go to jail. Straight to jail. I kid. People think it's the fast lane for people with more than one person in the car. Or they think it's a way to jump out of slow-moving traffic, skip 100 cars, and jump back in without getting caught when they're not supposed to be there at all. It's neither. It is a lane that should be used by those who qualify to use it, and they should be reducing their speed to a speed differential of no more than 30 or 40 kilometers an hour. What does that mean? If traffic is gridlocked, not going anywhere, that is not the 100-kilometer-an-hour lane. The speed limit may be 100 kilometers an hour, but you shouldn't be doing more than 30 or 40 because the speed differential would be deadly at 100 kilometers an hour when that jackass decides to make a change in lanes to skip up 100 and you're coming at 100 and you smoke them and there's a fatality on the road. And that is where these big collisions occur more often than not. But just in general, nobody should be speeding. The speed limit is the posted limit on the sign, not a kilometer more, which is why I'd be such an advocate fighting to have automated enforcement on every road. No one needs to speed. I'm even a fan of the idea of automated limits on vehicles, that when you're on a road that has 100-kilometer-an-hour max, your vehicle don't go faster than 100 kilometers an hour. Because why do we need vehicles that go faster than the posted limit? I mean, I like going fast. Don't get me wrong. When you do it legally, do it on a track, go to Calabogie, go see Tooth Racing. That's the way you do it. Go fast where it's legal and safe. Don't do it on my roads. They're all my roads. Just saying. Okay, what we got here? Oh. Viva Vibe says, hi. Let's see here. What we got? Okay. Alex and Frankie says, you guys are harassing the middle class. It's BS. You are actors. Alex and Frankie. What are you talking about? We're harassing the middle class. What? Are we talking about lawbreakers? What are we talking about? Boom. Oh, Camera Time has another joke. Camera Time likes my idea of an international fact-finding mission about police around the world. I think it would be a great show. Okay. Copy and paste this joke for the end, which is going to be in about 6 minutes because I got to go and do stuff and things. Okay. Shiza says, maybe those speed cameras on the 401 instead of the 40-kilometer-an-hour streets. Oh, so you're saying instead of 40K streets, do it. I think everywhere. I think we need enforcement everywhere. You're saying maybe on the 401 instead of a 40-kilometer-hour street, and that way you catch a lot doing 150 and auto ticket them. The thing is, 151, it's not enough to give them a ticket. It needs to have like lightning bolts or EMP blast, or it has to disable the vehicle. They are a threat, and those need rapid response from police. Those people need to be charged. Their card needs to be taken away. It's not enough to give them a ticket in the mail. Mo, have you worked any other specialized units? So, I mean, within traffic services, I worked in the motor squad, the CIB, but I worked at headquarters for a while in a special unit for the chief. But did I do anything like tactical? No. I was always wanting to be a traffic guy. Shoemaker 3000. I like the username, and I like the mad icon. Electric scooters are out of control. Yes, they are. And there's also scooters that do 70 to 100 kilometers an hour. In fact, there's one that's 100 miles an hour. It's insane. Excuse me. Any idea if they're going to replace those wonderful spray painted ground speed cameras? Oh, if they're going to, when you say like with better versions, look what they're doing everywhere else, high up in the sky. But people are vandals and generally not nice, and will continue to try and blame the camera for their heartache of being ticketed and held accountable for their choices. Melody says your kids wouldn't be annoyed with meeting strangers from TikTok if they get their favorite Starbucks. Yes, now I understand the strawberry. Yes, when Melody and when I met Melody in person, my daughter came with me, or one of my daughters came with me, and we had Starbucks. Shiza says Tracy, you should join the live. Yes. Camera Time says Ohio Highway Patrol told me no more than 9. What are we talking about? You are fine, but over 9, you're mine. Yes, I've heard that before. And listen, I understand a 10-kilometer leeway. I wouldn't pull someone over for 10K on the highway, but 10K is well, you're talking 10 miles in Ohio, which is more. You know, the deal is if you're doing 10K over in a 30, I'd pull you over. I'd charge you. That's not a warning. That's 25% of the limit, or so. Have you ever gotten a ticket? If so, for what? I got a ticket. I got a couple of tickets when I was a kid. I ran a stop sign I didn't see. I looked at stop signs again after that. I even remember the name of the street. It was impactful. Tickets should change behavior. They should sting. They should stick in your mug, so that you remember next time. Don't screw up like you screwed up last time because you got a ticket. The idea of a ticket is to teach. It is not to punish. I mean, it can punish too, but the punishment is supposed to teach. It's a combination. It's education through enforcement. And I remember that ticket. I remember getting a ticket for like 10 or 15 over on, it was Highway 7. I got a ticket for speeding when I was like 16. Like, these are things that happened when I was 16 and changed the way I drove going forward. The problem is if you speed when you're 16, 17, 18, 19, you don't get a ticket until you're 25. You've developed habits. So we need to hammer down and catch you and hold you accountable. The sooner we get you ticketed for the violations that you commit, the sooner you have chances of changing your behavior. Unlike some people I know who just never put their frickin' seatbelt on, for 50 years. Anyway, another story. Trevor Foster says my mom worked at headquarters too. Right on. Do I know your mom? User lots of numbers says I wonder if speed limits in some areas can be increased, like wide 4-lane non-residentials from over 40 under 60 or 42 60. I mean, the whole thing is we had many roads that were 60 and we reduced them to 40 because there were collisions and we want to make roads safer, and there's a move to reduce speed in most areas, not increase it. But could it? Yeah, if they do a study and justify it, they either do what they want to do. They said some highways can go 110 or 120 instead of 100. But what is the reason we need to go 20% faster? Why is it's not safer? It gets you there 20% faster in a sustained speed. But if it's a congested area, it doesn't get you anywhere faster because you're in gridlock anyway. That's just what it is. Let's see here. What do we got? We got a couple of messages that came through. Okay, that's a joke. Brandon says, FYI, if you take it to the track, make sure you have track insurance. Yeah, most people who take it to the track have no insurance because you pay to play, right? You smash the car, you buy a new one. I wouldn't take it to the track. I have no interest. If I am going to take it to a track, it's going to be on a car that was intended for the track. that, a race car. It's no insurance for race cars. My buddy, they smack up a car and it's a $250,000 US car and it's a $250,000 write-off. But it is a business, so they have a write-off. Liz says, I'm glad to hear one of your commenters noticed that plate was missing. It surprises me how many drivers don't check their vehicles before getting behind the wheel. How many times do you do a circle check? Have you ever done a circle check? Walk around your car, make sure all the bits and pieces are still there. You wouldn't believe how many damages we come back to. I borrowed a friend of mine's minivan. When I gave him back his minivan, he noticed, that the rear right corner had been damaged. It get popped out. Why? Because someone drove into it in the parking lot. And I had not been to that side of the car that day, or at least since it happened. And I don't recall where it happened. And if I would have gone a circle check that every time before getting behind the seat, I would have known at least where it happened, when it happened. I had no idea. And I felt very bad because it was a borrowed car. Now, granted, it wasn't a big deal to pop back in, but still, if that was my car, I'd be pissed too. No, he wasn't pissed. We had a laugh about it. But do circle checks. It's important. Not only will you know if your license plates are still attached, because it would be a hell of a shock when you get pulled over by the police saying you have no license plates on your vehicle. When's the last time you even looked? Okay. Sergeant Frank says, why do you think OPP would allow someone to go 130 and 100 zone in the left lane of the 407 or worse? I think that they, well, first of all, did the officers see it? Were they doing radar? Were they writing their notes? Like, not everything that happens is actually seen by police. That's why I think that they should have automated enforcement. They should just take the guesswork out of it and let police officers focus on other things, the big stuff. And that 30 over is big stuff, but whatever. Nikki Lasagna, thank you for this. Research shows that speeding barely saves you any time, but it does make accidents more likely and more serious. 100%, couldn't say it better myself. Nobody understands how negligible the increase in speed is, especially when it's not sustained. When I talk about speed, I get that you get there 20% faster if you are doing that speed the entire way without taking your foot off the gas, without any interruption. But if you're going to stop at a rest stop and have a pee on a long run, you've just lost that time anyway. Like, why are we racing to try and make up a couple of things when the consequences and the risks are so much higher? The faster you go, the less space you have to make, the less space and time you have to make adjustments. And someone asked me, I think it was yesterday's live, what happens if somebody maybe it was a comment. Anyway, they said, if I'm doing 100 in the left lane and somebody up ahead of me is doing 40 and I hit them, who's at fault? Well, you hit them. You have to be able to adjust your speed based on the changes in front. Now, they could be unnecessarily slow driving, and if there was supporting evidence of that, they might be charged as well, or they may split it. But at the end of the day, if someone hits the brakes, if a bird lands in the middle of the road, whatever it is, you have to and are responsible for adjusting your driving to accommodate for changes in the road ahead of you. Nicholas Rizzi wants to remind everyone that the last chance to come see him at Toronto Yuck Yucks tonight, 8 p.m. Tickets at $12. Don't forget your nightsticks cracking skulls. I don't know about that. But I think the accountant comedian is going to be funny, and I won't be there because I really don't go downtown at night because tonight I'm doing something else, and I'll be sharing some video of it after the fact. I'm at the train, need to wait an hour. Oh, waiting for trains. That's why they put shopping malls there. I think that's the McDonald's dollar drink time. Akela says we should get together before I move. Yes, that would be awesome. And we need more details. By the way, if you are on Telegram, you can go to our Telegram group, which is what is our Telegram group? Telegram.trafficcop.ca should link you there. The only time you really make up any time is when you're speeding in a 40 to 50 kilometer an hour zone, and that's when it's most dangerous. 100%. I mean, yes, you feel the speed increase. Really, it's not that. It's still not that much. Yes, if you're doing 150, you're insane, dangerous, and taking crazy risks. But then you would see a greater. You'd feel the increase in speed. But I'll tell you, I do 30 and 30s and 40s and 40s, and I get there and it feels just fine. Okay. Can a first-time stunt driving charge be reduced for a young man? That's from Wally. Can it happen? Sometimes they plead it down. It wasn't happening. It's rare, but it's possible. I mean, here's the thing. The courts are the courts, and they can do what they want to do. But the question is whether or not the young man learned his lesson? That's really the question. And I think that's what the courts try and weigh. Oh, Trevor says she was the first Ontario statutes officer. Statutes. I don't know why I can't say it today. Statutes. That's very cool. I don't think I knew her, but very cool. Is that a new position or an old position? 137 and a 60 previous speeding ticket. Yeah, well, I couldn't say, but definitely worth your time. Hire somebody for that. That's where you need some representation. All right, folks, it's an hour and 5 minutes. Let's read the 2 jokes I received, and then I am going to go away and do the things I need to do. So the first one is the Energizer Bunny was arrested and charged with battery. I didn't read that very well, but Energizer Bunny was arrested. He was charged with battery, which is assault and battery, which is battery. It was a charged battery. I like it. It's good. What do you call a sad strawberry? A blueberry. Yes. I'm going to just stop with the jokes. She retired in 2018. Gotcha. Okay. Just checking to see if we got anything missing. Have I ever given a ticket to an on-duty officer in a car? No, because on-duty officers, what would you charge them with? They're allowed to do most things as part of their lawful execution of their duties. So there would be no ticket to write. What do I have here? Another message that's going to go into another menu. Have a great day and a great week, brother. That's from Sergeant Frank. Kayla, I'll talk to you in the chat on Telegram. And what else? I just want to once again thank the magical people at Diamond Lawyers. They sponsor the show. They sponsor the organization called the Canadian Organization for Better Traffic Safety and Education. If you want to check out that website, it's bettertraffic.ca. If you want to go to askatrafficcop.ca, that is where I have all sorts of stuff and things posted. If you got questions, we got answers, and we'll be back on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. for After Dark. And what else can I tell you? Have a great week. Drive safe, drive sober, park legally, and we'll talk to you soon. All the best. Oh, and I'm going to go post that video on TikTok, so go like and share it. Yeah. Have a great day. And Metal Man, there are no quotas, no. Bye.